Freedom, an awesome idea, isn't it? Christ said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. I think there's a little danger there because sometimes we equate the idea of freedom with ease, and that's not necessarily so. Faith makes things possible, but it doesn't make things easy. Achieving our purpose in life, having our mission in life, and moving forward can be very, very tough at times. I think the Bible's packed full of just some great examples, such as Joseph. Joseph had some dreams. He had some dreams of greatness, and it was a long, long time before those dreams came about and he really saw what he dreamed about. In fact, Joseph, on the journey toward his mission, went through some really tough times. You recall the story. His brothers sold him into slavery. He ended up there, landed a good job, so to speak, and then he got sold off into prison and spent time there. He helped some guys in prison. They forgot all about him until the time God was ready for him to come out and really engage the mission God had planned for him. Joseph's purpose in life was a long, long time coming, and that's kind of difficult. Joseph had some wonderful internal freedom, if you would. He refused to live in that prison he was in inside his heart. Even though he was exteriorly in prison, in his heart he was free, and he kept trusting his God, and he kept his eye on heaven. And so he had these dreams, he had these ideas, and he would not give up. He would not live in the prison of depression, but he also understood that it was God's timetable. He knew that he didn't get to do his dreams, his goals, his purpose, fulfill the meaning of his life when he was doing it. We say it all the time. Who's in charge? We always say God's in charge, right? Amen. I agree with that. But now we want to set our own timetable. No, you don't get to set your own timetable. God sets the timetable for you fulfilling the purpose of your life. And when you find that, and when you accept that, then you have a freedom that a lot of people don't know. Now I want to use a real simple example to explain how I think this works. And that is, how many parents would hand a 3-year-old the car keys and tell him to run up the store and get a gallon of milk? I mean, it's so crazy you wouldn't even think about it. Now, how many parents would hand their 18-year-old or their 19-year-old the car keys and ask them to run up the store and get a gallon of milk? Now, it's still a little scary if you ask me, but we may do that one because a 19-year-old is capable of doing that particular little bitty mission. A 3-year-old is not. What I'm trying to tell you is God is not going to let Joseph become number 2 in all of Egypt before Joseph is ready to handle that position. And when Joseph is ready, and God sees that Joseph is ready, then Joseph is going to come out of his prison, and he's going to live in that spot that we all admire and adore and love to tell stories about now so many thousand years later. Our life is somewhat that way. Now, I don't think you're going to be number 2 in Egypt or any country, but if we're going to fulfill our dreams, our mission, our purpose, however you want to state it, we all have that sense that there's something out there that I'm here for. If you're going to fulfill that, then it's going to be on God's timetable, not your own. Now, I think you can expedite that a little bit by proving yourself responsible and by learning. And the quicker you become responsible, the quicker you get to handle that responsibility. So let's go back to the car example for just a moment. And in our state, a a teenager, can start learning to drive at the age of 14 if the child so chooses. Now, the child, I don't think, can drive without assistance or an adult until they're 16. But how many of you know teenagers that are 17, 18, and 19 even, and still haven't started on their driver's license? And then you got that spunky kid all the way back there at 14 that's been driving a car for almost 5 years. By the time the 19-year-old opens the manual for the first time, logs on to the manual for the first time and even begins to think about driving. So there's a little bit that you can do in that self-discipline to expedite and push your dreams forward. But then again, there's God's timetable. And I take comfort in 1 Corinthians 10:13, where God says He won't allow you to be tempted beyond what you're able. So I hope you have dreams. I hope you have goals, that sense of purpose, that idea that there's something out there that you're here to accomplish. And the bigger it is, you understand, God's going to expect more development, more responsibility, a better demonstration of, okay, this man, this woman, they're ready for it. And when we have this concept and we understand it, then we don't live in a prison of depression and I can't and life has no meaning and what am I even trying for? We live in a whole different world, and it's a world of freedom, because once we start to understand the truth, as Jesus said, the truth makes us free. A lot of stuff there to think about, I know. Give it some thought, put your comments below, and as always, have a great day.